The Washington Post giving President Biden nearly 4 pinocchios for claiming that congressional Republicans want to raise taxes on middle-class families. Joining me now, Americans for Tax Reform President Grover Norquist. Grover, good to see you. Reading this piece today was really interesting. They started by giving the Washington Post President Biden 3 pinocchios on this, and then they subsequently raised it once they did their review. They were closer to 4. And essentially what the president said, quote, "I can't believe the majority of Republicans buy on to Scott's plan." And they go through everybody that Jen Psaki listed as buying onto the plan, and they explain why that person wasn't buying onto the plan. They were supportive of a plan, but not particularly this plan or all aspects of it. Do I have this correct?
You do. This is the second time they gave him 3+ Pinocchios. They called him out when Biden said this before, and Biden deliberately went out and lied again, and then got caught out again. But what is Biden's alternative? He's got 36 tax increases he's pushing in his budget, 11 of them on energy to make your gasoline cost more. The IRS says they want to double the number of audits on small businesses. They just admitted that they'd been hiding the destruction of 30 million pieces of IRS returns and things like that. They're again and again wanting to they want to raise taxes on businesses, the corporate income tax, to higher than China's, higher than Europe's. They don't want to talk about that. So They're pointing the finger at an imaginary Republican, imagining that they would want to raise taxes when, if you look at where the Republicans are, they want to continue the Trump tax cuts. That's a tax cut.
Right. And raising the corporate tax rate, for example, doesn't just impact the corporations that are paying that tax. It has an impact across the spectrum of our economy, might even potentially lead to situations where corporations have to lay people off. And so there are all these other aspects to it. It's not just, oh, we're going to tell General Mills that they have to pay more. The same way, it's not just raising the tax rate on Jeff Bezos or other billionaires out there and saying they're going to pay us more as well. What Scott was trying to propose here, and it was just a proposal, sort of up for discussion, throwing some things out there and saying, at least let's have a constructive conversation about this, was the fact that you've got a large portion of this population that doesn't pay anything in taxes at all. And all he said was that he wanted them to contribute in some way so they have some skin in the game. And then you've got the Democrats glomming onto that and turning it into something that essentially it's not.
Well, there's a challenge, because he said they don't pay income taxes, and some people don't pay income taxes because they don't earn enough income. But there's $100 billion in excise taxes. Buy a beer, buy a pack of cigarettes, buy a gun, make a phone call, electricity, energy. There are all sorts of federal excise taxes that hit lower income people very heavily, be it 2-pack-a-day smoker, and that's a lot of money out of your pocket in federal taxes alone. So there isn't anybody in America that's undertaxed. We would like to reduce everyone's taxes, not shift them around.
Right.
And Rick Scott was inartful in a discussion, but no other Republican raised their hand and said, "Me too." His idea is his alone. But again, remember, the Republicans will have something to run on. If you remember, the contract with America didn't come out until September 27th, just before, a month before the election. So, or when Reagan came and stood with all of the Republicans in 1980, that also was in late September. So there will be sort of a here's our vision thing. Doesn't make too much sense to start that conversation now when you don't know what's going to happen over the next 4 months.
And some are saying that Scott has sort of backed away from, what he proposed and what he sort of lobbed out there, to your point, to say that payroll taxes and sales taxes, should count. But again, Republicans would say at least he's putting something out there to have a conversation about, versus this Democrat one-track line of taxation that we essentially know, especially with our economy in the crucial inflection point that it's at right now, is not going to help things get better.
Everything that Biden did to give us inflation, to raise the cost of energy, to make it more difficult to transfer energy through pipelines, that makes the price of energy go up so that Russia gets rich and we get poorer, all of those things he plans to do more of. So he's not changing his position. Every mistake, he wants more.
Grover Norquist, good to see you. Thank you so much for breaking that down.
Take care.